What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new season of Perspective Entertainment, the newest Black Center entertainment-based show. I'm Paris, and on the far end over there, I have my great co-host.
Hi guys, my name is Arlette, and I'm excited to get this new season started. Joining us today, we have this beautiful Aaliyah, aka Penny. Say hi.
Hi.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing all right, you know. It was a long day, not gonna lie to you.
It was a very long and productive day.
We appreciate you joining for our season opening today, Aaliyah.
All right. Before we get started, I know what you guys are thinking. Where is Cash? Where is Justin? If somehow you didn't know, Justin and Cash both graduated last semester and they've been enjoying their colleges and their lives post-college. You know, it's a few pictures up there. Look at them graduating and all that. You know, those my hosts right there, man. I appreciate them so much, man. Look at them. They just
cheesing.
They cheesing hard. Oh man. Oh, that's my boy Justin. Where was he? I think he said he was Ocean. It was somewhere. I swear he said it was like Puerto Rico or something. He going on cruises and stuff.
Was
like,
it the Dominican Republic?
Oh, I might be lying. I did ask him.
This is the Miami Carnival, right?
It's the Miami Carnival. That's my boy Cash on the left. That's a good picture right there.
Loaded.
I asked him for a few of like pictures, and the thing he told me was all my pictures are like, you know, not safe for work. Basically, to keep it short. So, you know, he been living great. he been living great. You know, this is a family-friendly show for the most part. So shout out to
PG-13, not rated R.
That's what they're saying. All right, shout out to Justin and Cash, man, because they trusted me and Arlette to keep the tradition running, and we appreciate y'all both. Now, getting to the focus of the show, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Paris Holmes. I'm currently a junior that transferred from Pittsburgh University, and I'm from Rochester, New York. Now for my co-host Arlette.
Hey guys, my name is Arlette, and I'm currently a sophomore. I transferred to Oswego my second semester freshman year after like studying abroad in Costa Rica. And yeah, I'm from Washington Heights, Manhattan, New York City.
All right. Now, the whole point of the show is we have a guest along with us. So we had a very powerful conversation while preparing for today's show, and we got to know each other a little bit better. So Aaliyah is an upcoming poet on campus, and some may already know about her work. So Aaliyah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Aaliyah, obviously. I am also a junior as well. Yeah. I'm from the Bronx. I was unfortunately born in, no, stop.
Unfortunately?
I was born and raised in the Bronx, and yeah, I came to Oswego. Yay!
What made you choose Oswego?
Money.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Same.
That's
shout out to EOP.
Yes, shout out to EOP. Shout out to the advisors. Shout out to Joey.
Shout out to Grace. Dr. Maxine Clark.
Why'd you put your quotation marks on junior?
Because I have a little bit more time in Oswego because I changed my major. So I am now a history major with a minor in journalism.
I love.
You know, I'm a broadcasting major, of course, but journalism, I can't. I don't know. There's something about journalism.
I like to write, so does it make sense?
You know that I didn't put two and two together at all. You got that.
That's good. I still creative writing.
For me, I'm a junior because I went to Pittsburgh, of course, and then my freshman year it was COVID, so everything along with COVID and all that, I just couldn't stay there. It wasn't a good community for the black people. I'll just keep it frank. It wasn't really. I felt out of place. And then of course COVID, everybody had to stay inside, and it was like groups of 5. If you had 6 people in a room, everybody was getting written up. So I had to get out of there. But it's not that bad. It wasn't that bad though. So, all right. When we come back, we'll be talking about Aaliyah more and her talents. Stay tuned.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it. Jill
Should we
told me it
tell
was
him?
Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
Al Roker.
Welcome back to Perspective Entertainment. Before the break, we got a little recap on our old hosts, and we got to know a little bit about Leah and all her work. So the first question I want to ask is, what inspired you to get into your field of work?
To start writing poetry. I've been writing poetry since like the 6th grade. I've been writing poetry before I even knew what poetry was. It's a little like traumatic, but I used the things that I was going through when I was younger, and I just started writing about it, and I have always channeled my pain into art.
Did you want to go a little bit further on a brief thing on what started your inspiration in terms of like what you went through when you were younger, or is that a little too much?
I'm an open book for the most part, so my childhood has not been the most ideal childhood with the perfect family, and I lived with a single mom for about 3 years of my life, and before that I lived with my grandparents, and feeling alone without anyone to talk to, writing was my only form of like releasing the things that I had to say, and my notebook was the only person that would listen to me, even though it couldn't talk back. At least I could talk to it. So
It was listening.
So what was like your biggest like hardship coming up, and what like really made you start? Like, do you have a certain one moment?
Okay, this is also like pretty traumatic. So I got kicked out of my house when I was 13.
13, you said?
Yeah. So I got kicked out of my house when I was 13, and from there, as you can imagine, I was a little lost. I was also very angry with like my family and stuff. So I just used that and channeled my anger into writing. At the time, I didn't know what therapy was, so you could imagine how that was. I was freshly starting high school, moving around, obviously, from place to place, and I just utilized music and like writing to release everything that I was feeling. Even though I was a very angry child and like an angry teenager, I still didn't want anyone to feel the pain that I was feeling, because I still felt like the world deserved so much more, and I always knew that I deserved so much more. So I just always thought maybe if I put out into the world what I wanted to receive, then I'd be able to receive that at some point in my life.
Do you feel like you have that golden rule right now? Like,
yeah, I still believe treat people the way you want to be treated, but with boundaries instead.
What do you mean with boundaries?
I say with boundaries because even though I treat people the way I want to be treated, people still walk over you.
Okay.
And
Facts.
I've had a history of sacrificing myself and my needs, basically people pleasing. So because I've been so conditioned to my ideology that I should give out to the world what I want back, I've been a people pleaser, and I've kind of allowed like people to walk over me and like take my kindness for granted. And the space that I'm in now, I've been learning to put myself first, which I feel like everyone should do. Only extend yourself as much as you receive.
I agree. Do you believe the saying, if it's not bringing you peace, you should let it go?
Definitely. I think protecting your peace is like one of the most important things. And the way that I am now, it's just like, if you're not contributing to my peace, you have to go.
Yeah.
Like, you can be family
Definitely.
member, friend, boyfriend. You can even be my dog. If you're not bringing me peace, you have to go.
What the dog do?
What the dog
I'm
do?
just saying, like, if I don't know, you come home from a long day at work and your dog like
It's
has
not
the
good.
zoomies and tears up everything, and you just like, it's been a long day. You just have to sit in a corner right now. But you know,
That's true. Never lie.
yeah.
All right, so you said you started writing, what was it, 6th grade when we
Yeah.
talked? Do you still have that poem?
I don't actually have that poem. I have a poem from the first time I've ever shared my work, though.
Okay. We might get into that a little bit later.
Okay.
So like when you started writing in 6th grade, what was like your mindset going into everything?
Okay, so honestly, I was just lost, and like I didn't know what was to come next for me in the world. I'm in 6th grade. This is like elementary school, and
How
I'm
old
just
you in
like
6th grade? Like
probably like
11?
what,
13.
11 or 12?
Yeah, so
You was 13 in 6th grade.
I don't know.
I was 13 in 8th grade.
Oh God, that's
Wait, what? 6? Oh, yeah. Because I remember I was like 11 around there.
Yeah, so like maybe like 11 or 12, but I think one of my biggest inspirations to start utilizing like writing to express myself, in the 5th grade, I was introduced to Langston Hughes, and I was introduced to the poem No Uncommercial Theater by him, and from there I just fell in love with all of his work and poetry overall.
So you said Langston Hughes. Is there anybody else that inspired you to start writing? Like I need like some. Do you have a favorite poet? Is that what I'm asking right now?
Besides Langston Hughes?
Yeah.
One of my favorite poets at the moment is Harain. I love his work.
Shout out to Harain.
Shout out to Harain. Also, the person that inspired me to start sharing my work was Ricky.
Okay.
So having 2 friends that are poets helped a lot.
So honestly, like when it comes to these people like helping you, like motivate you, like how was it? Like was it like a push, like you should do it too? Like I see all these influencers like doing it, and these are my friends. Like
Yeah, so honestly, I've always been a little doubtful about my work, and getting that push from them and like getting, I guess, basically like confirmation that I'm a good writer, because honestly I just used to write and keep everything in my journal, and I started sharing my poems with them, and they're like, why aren't you sharing this stuff? And I'm like, because I don't think it's worthy enough of being shared. And I really think like that, like getting the push from them has helped me push other people who are poets, and I'm really grateful for that, honestly.
what you said about like pushing other people, because you're actually like helping me like publish my poems.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, you also did say it wasn't worthy of like being, brought out to the world. Was it not worthy to you, or was it not worthy to who do you think will read it?
I am my biggest critic, but also I realized that I had the fear of being vulnerable to the public eye, and I had the fear of being judged by others. And I think as time passed, and even being in therapy, you obviously have to open up to your therapist, who's a complete stranger, and you have to be vulnerable. And I think I just became open to just accepting myself for who I am and like validating the fact that I have gone through these things. If I don't validate the things that I've gone through, who's going to validate them for me? So I think it really started there.
Through your healing. So where did you get your like name from? Penny.
Penny, okay. So the name Penny, this might sound crazy, and I promise I am not crazy.
We are hearing you out.
We are not
This
judging
is
you.
a safe space.
This is an open
It's a safe
space.
space.
I promise I'm not crazy, but I have this thing where I create like different aliases and different personas for myself. I've realized as of lately, through unpacking and through working on healing, that I've been creating these personas because I feel like a lot of people have taken my power away from my actual name, including like my parents, past partners, and stuff like that. So when I create these new personas, they become new people who have not who no one has experienced and no one has taken power from. So with the name Penny, there was a point where I had dreadlocks, and I created a new persona, and I dyed my hair pink, and she was this pink-haired girl. And Penelope, I named her Penelope because it just, pink and Penelope seemed like,
They go together pretty
Yeah.
well. I won't lie, they go together
Yeah.
pretty well.
but then when I named myself Penelope, I'm like, okay, wait, Penelope sounds like an old lady's name, so we're gonna call her Penny for short. And then came Penny.
Okay. I mean, so I know that, you know, the world may not know, but, you know, people who know you for real know that it's a thing called Penny's Treehouse. Can you put me on about that a little bit?
Okay, so after Penny was born, you know, Penny's a big Sag. Her birthday is November 23rd.
So all your like aliases have different birthdays?
Yeah, I mean, they were created on a certain day, so I have to obviously honor the day that they were.
Okay.
They were
Established,
created.
you know?
Yeah.
Penny's Treehouse came after Penny was born, obviously. I named it Penny's Treehouse because that became my house, was my treehouse, my safe haven. Whoever I let into my treehouse, I was very selective. That's my safe space. Being in Oswego and being away from like the city, something that I've been used to, I needed to create something that I could fall back into.
Okay.
And
Yep.
that was what my treehouse was. A space for me to be vulnerable, no cameras, no hidden personas, just me.
Was there anybody who ever tried to like, you know, mess
Step
up with
over the
that?
boundaries. Yeah. Oh, that laugh is kind of serious sometimes.
Yeah.
Are we gonna keep it short with you? You know, I don't want you to.
That was like
overshare if
10
you
years
don't
in
want
there,
to,
you
yeah.
know, when people be like, yeah.
So let's just say, guys, ex-partners. Yeah.
Ex-partners. Well, when we come back, there will be a lot more of ex-partners and yeah. So when we come back, stay tuned.
Falling out.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Shine on that boy.
Look at the bling. Look at do we got a diamond tester on?
Yeah, that's getting bad. Yep. 10 out of 10 recommend on Yelp.
We're going to the playoffs.
I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what?
Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No. Kevin!
Welcome back to Perspective Entertainment. Coming up, Penny is going to read a few poems from a book where letters are found. If you want to tell us a little bit about the poems before you get into them, that would kind of be great.
Okay.
That would be great. Well,
Okay, so the first poem that I'll be reading is titled Relentless. This was actually the first poem that I shared. This was during quarantine. I posted on my Instagram at the time, and I just felt like I wanted to share my work with the world. So I did, but then got a little nervous about it, so I kind of deleted it after. No, I know that thing. Yeah, so second guessing and like overthinking, but yeah.
all right, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Sorry. Dear Diary, I take a step back and look at myself. Am I really here? Is it really me? I take 3 deep breaths, trying to maintain consciousness, but the room seems to be spinning underneath me while I'm standing completely still. I reach out to touch the glass where my reflection should be, but there isn't a thing there. The only thing I can see is a shattered piece of glass that's going to fall at my feet at any minute. Why can't I see myself? Is this an illusion? I feel my body temperature rising. I feel the tears running down my face, but why can't I see them? I try to touch you, but you don't feel it. You don't know that I'm here. You carry on with life without knowing that I exist. I run my hands through your hair, but you stand completely still in confusion. The hairs on the back of your neck raise as you can feel my presence, and you acknowledge that there is a person that loves you. But what you don't know is that every day that you're away, the earth slowly cripples beneath my feet as I wait for you to take it back, as I wait for you to restore the light that the earth is missing. But instead of there being light, my days become darker, and no matter how much I try to cling to the little bit of me that is left, the little of me that has been fighting the darkness, I become weaker. I lose the ones that I love. I lose my sanity. I lose my happiness. I lose myself. You brought me peace to all of my chaos. The nights have been restless. Death has chosen its people, and it keeps choosing, and soon it'll choose me. But before I go, I want you to know that in life and in death, I love you for allowing me to be myself, holding the lantern in the dark when I couldn't see, helping me grow when I couldn't reach. So as I stand here without a reflection, I trust that my soul will ascend and I will be found again.
So tell us a little bit like the writing process of that poem. Like, was it all one day? Do you just sit down and write? Or
Yes.
Do you...
So I don't think any of my work actually like takes days for me to write unless I'm having like extreme writer's block.
What's that?
When my thoughts are all clouded and I can't get any thoughts down on paper or
Okay.
yeah. But this poem, I wrote this poem during quarantine. I was freshly out of my first high school relationship.
You just love, I don't know, it's something about sneak dissing, people that you were with. It's like,
It's not sneak dissing.
No, I'm just saying, she's like my last relationship.
I mean,
And looking away, like.
the way that I view my life, I look off to the cameras because one of my favorite shows is The Office. So I have Jim Halpert moments where, Jim just looks off and my cameraman, yeah. So it's not sneak dissing. My cameramen know because they've been there the entire time. But I mentioned like death a lot and losing the people that I loved because, it was COVID and people were dying. It was like a very sad time, and I'm an empath, so I feel everything like extremely deeply.
Yes.
And I'm a very sensitive person, and it's just like, oh my God, I love all of these people, but they're dying. And I was scared because I had like chest problems and COVID. Scary.
All right, you got a second poem for us?
Yeah, I do. Sorry,
What's
guys.
this one called?
This one is called To Breathe. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Dear Diary, I woke up this morning able to breathe again. The sun was finally shining. My stars were aligning. Feelings of defeat no longer detected, as I no longer had to lay myself down for a lover. There were no more grenades to be caught, but in turn, a garden to nurture. And for a soul like mine, the most random to exist, I no longer had to wander. I could finally sit. I am no longer lost. So if you're looking for me, I'll leave you the coordinates to where you'll find me under my favorite tree. For a soul once trapped, I've finally been freed from a jail that will never get the chance to imprison me. Love shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't cut deep or cause you to bleed internally, leaving you lifeless, black and blue, soulless for eternity. So with love I restore, I water and nurture. I've replanted my garden, my seeds spread further. Thank you.
We're going to do it every time. We're going to do it
What
every
was
time.
that side eye? You kind of side-eyed me there.
I side-eyed you in.
Okay.
There's you know, the cameras can't see it. I was
Okay.
watching, you know, I
Okay.
just had to come back and watch. You know.
Okay.
I'm very impressed, you know. I'm
Thank
very
you.
impressed. So,
How you think the difference between the poem, the first poem, and this one, like, is different?
I can definitely see a lot of growth and a lot of healing has taken a lot of time. During the time that I wrote Relentless during quarantine, I was also going through a very, very, very hard spiritual awakening. I feel like I got hard launched, and from there it was just like a spiral. But to breathe, I finally felt like I could breathe again, and I finally felt free. I had Penny's treehouse. I began replanting my gardens, not physically as well, because you know I'm a plant mom, but also metaphorically as well. I take life as my garden, and I plant seeds. I try to plant seeds every day and water my garden and grow.
So I did notice that, you know, I kind of looked through your book a little bit.
Oh.
And for most of them, they did start with Dear Diary. So, like, you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But why do you start with Dear Diary?
I start with Dear Diary because I treat everything like it's my journal. So life is my journal, my book is my journal, and you guys are reading my journal entries. So,
You know, that's remember, minor of journalism.
oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
you see how that connects? Life.
Synchronicities. Everything is always connected.
Yep.
Synchronicity. Like, what's going on? I feel like sometimes, you know, because of course I'm not a journalist. You know, Arlette, you know, over there, she does a little bit of journaling too. So this is more of her, you know, what's the word?
Forte.
Your forte. So I
Yeah.
feel like I'm a little bit out the loop. So it's been pretty like great to get to know you and get to like learn
thank
about all
you.
your poems and all that. So it's just kind of been eye opening that everybody goes through something, like looking at you, like just walking down the hallway.
You're
It
the
doesn't-
person that glows. Your
Yeah.
type energy.
It doesn't really seem like, you know, you've been through all these.
Don't judge a book.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Yes.
Yeah.
Because a person can look great and amazing, but you don't know what's going on.
And that's why you must extend kindness to everyone, because
Exactly.
you don't know what anyone is going through.
And another thing is that if you're not true to yourself, and if you're not blocking, like if you're letting that weird energy block your peace of mind, it's not meant for you. But all right, everybody, have a great night, and always remember to stay true to your true self, and see you next time.